for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go. I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Hey, everybody, let's go, let's go, let's go. Y'all know what time it is. Time for Talented Thursdays. And I am excited, like I am every week. Y'all, I have a treat for you tonight. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So come on in. Hopefully bring a friend. Make sure you're pressing share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. It's Black History Month. It's coming to an end, but we never come to an end, okay? We just keep multiplying and going. But, you know, the official month that they gave us is coming to an end for now. And I'm so excited to have this gentleman to close February out for me. So before I talk about that, I want to say thank you to all of you who are watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and listening in on Vegas Praise Radio. Week after week, y'all are showing up, and I am so grateful. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you. I have experienced some great entertainment this month. I went to Henderson, the city of Henderson, and Tanya put on a great program with choirs and artists from all around, and it was beautiful. And then Kimberly Bailey did the Black Image Honoree Awards for Black History Month as well. And I got to hear some young ladies from the Vegas Opera. And when I tell y'all, they did Black Girl Magic, and they sung some of everything, and their voices were amazing. So let me see who's out here tonight. Let's see. I have Estella Johns watching. She said, "Hey, sis, from Tacoma. Hey, thank you for checking in. Make sure you're pressing that share button so they can tune in with us tonight." Now, let me tell you all, Black people have added so much to the world and to American culture and to all things great, you know, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the things that have been done. So I wanted to tell you all about some inventions before I introduce my guest for tonight. So in case you didn't know, these are things that Black people created, okay? The aeroplane propelling, the rotary engine, the letterbox, the home security system, ironing board, street sweepers, lawnmower, typewriter, the train, fire extinguishers, locks, elevators, gas masks, traffic signals, the hairbrush, the heating furnace, the dustpan, the baby buggy, clothes dryer. Y'all know we got to dry our clothes, okay? The cellular phone. Where would we be without that today? The lawn sprinkler, automatic gear shift. That's how I drive, okay? The street sweeper, the urinalysis machine, roller coasters. For those of you who like a thrill, the helicopter, blood plasma was discovered by us. The potato chip, one of my favorite snacks. And listen, y'all, something that you use every day, the GPS system, and also the folding chair. I'll leave it at that. All right. So they tapping in. I have Quila Davis watching. She said, "Hey, sis." Hey there. And Navelle Davis from Tacoma as well. Hello, my friend. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Now, here we go. I want to introduce tonight's guest. All right. Like I said, you are in for a treat. Tonight's guest is a Stellar Award nominee who has worked with many well known artists as well as crafted music for Disney theme parks, produced film scores for Russell Simmons, and composed music for James Fortune. He's also a business owner who can not only give you the sound that you're looking for with custom production in jazz, hip hop, R&B, gospel, pop, Latin, and other genres, but he also offers courses where he can guide you on how to take your musicianship to the next level. Listen, y'all, the man is bad, like Michael Jackson, for real, for real. Okay, please welcome up next, Mr. Donyea Goodman. You're watching Talented Thursdays.
I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got, the talent that we have. It's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Put your hands together out there. Let me see you put the drum roll together. None other than Mr. Donyea Goodman. Hey,
how you doing? How's it going?
Yes,
how's everybody doing? I see my people in the chat too.
You see them? You see them?
I see Mom and Pop and
yes,
and Estella. I see my folks in there.
They're tapping in for sure, saying hello and sending you love. Thank you.
I so appreciate them.
Yes, those are good people. Let's just talk about the Davis family just briefly. They're good people, huh?
Yeah. Oh man, they're amazing people.
Yes,
they're amazing people. I've known them for about 30 years.
Wow.
30 years, maybe a little longer than 30 years.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
It's always good to have love and support in the building. Tonight, I am so happy to have you. Thank you for your yes. Because you didn't have to say yes, but you know.
But, no, I had to do it because we go back too. So I definitely had to do it.
Yes.
We go back a good while. Well, in matter of fact, we go back probably about 24 years.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. 24 years. It was 2001.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
You know, that was the very first time. The funny thing about that story is it was the very first time I had been in the studio. Mm-hmm. We met in another location. Mm-hmm. We're talking music because that's one thing that we had in common and that we love. Mm-hmm. And you started talking about a song and I said, I think you're working on my song. I was happy, excited. I said, oh my goodness, the sound was amazing. And you're still doing amazing things today. So welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing because we met in Washington. I assume you're from Washington, but is that where you were born and raised?
I was born in Washington. I wasn't raised there, but I definitely was born in Tacoma, North End.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, I spent. Yes. I was raised in Tacoma until maybe about 4 or 5, and then I started traveling around because my parents were military.
Gotcha.
So I traveled around, came back for a few years, left again, came back for a few years, left again, came back permanently in 97.
Okay.
97 is when I showed up, and I was there until 2012 when I left.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Tacoma is just, it has that soft spot in your heart.
It's home. It's so home. It is home. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. For people who haven't been to the Pacific Northwest and Tacoma specifically, it has its own little vibe to it, right?
It does. It's a very quaint city. It doesn't ask a lot of you, and if you like just quaint places and you like just chilling out, that's the place to go.
That's the place. And if you
Mhm.
love beautiful scenery, right? Because
Oh my God.
left Tacoma and came to the desert. I miss the greenery. Okay.
Every time. I usually go uh,
Okay.
every summer. Um, and then this year, so if I went in the wintertime, and I forgot how intentional those winters are, but
Yes.
I went in the wintertime and it was still beautiful though.
Yes,
It
it
was still
is.
beautiful. The fresh air, that mountain air, I loved
Ooh,
it. The mountain
that's
air mixed with the pine trees, with the man, you
right.
can't beat it. You
You
can't beat it.
cannot. It's just fresh. It's just
Yes,
right.
yes, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. So you've been doing music a long time, a very long time. When did you discover your love of music? And did you always want to be a musician?
I didn't. Well, musicianship runs in my family.
Mm,
So, my birth mother is a singer. She was a singer. She was like a phenomenal singer, like on some Aretha Franklin level. And I'm
wow.
not saying that because she was my mother. I'm saying that because
Right.
I heard her. And then, my aunts and uncles all played instruments. So it all ran in the family. And then my grandmother was a pastor at the time. So I came up
Mm,
around musicianship, church musicians, and playing. And back then, I just wanted to play the drums.
okay.
It didn't matter what it was. I just wanted to play the drums. And over the years, I thought, oh, this is a nice hobby because I knew I loved music. I loved playing music. I loved touching a keyboard. I loved making sounds. I loved all of that. But I
Right.
didn't know it was a career. I had no idea that it would be a career or it could be career. I thought it was just something to do and
Right.
that I would just develop a career doing something else. But around high school is when I was like, oh, I can do this for real, like as a
Mm,
career. It was high school. That's
nice.
when I realized, oh, I could go for this. This guy, I started seeing people who worked at being musicians, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And the rest is history. I just pursued it in whatever way I could.
Yes,
I couldn't
indeed.
go to school and get the degrees like everybody else. So I literally had to outwork and outplay and outperform everybody
And
in
you've
order
done
for people to.
just that. You have made a lot of noise in the music world. And so that is such a beautiful thing. Tell me, who were some of your musical influences? So you grew up, you said once you got to high school you knew that that was what you wanted to do. What type of music were you playing? Who were you listening to? Who were your influences?
So I grew up gospel, right? Just
Okay.
100% gospel. So Andre Crouch and the Hawkins, all of that.
Hands down.
Um, Thomas Whitfield,
Mm,
anything he touched, Thomas Whitfield.
yeah.
Um, Bill Maxwell. Bill Maxwell was the producer for Andre Crouch and the Winans and all those people.
Now
So
that's the
Bill
thing about musicians. You all know the people behind the people.
behind the music, yeah. so,
Yes,
so it was Bill Maxwell, and then later I fell in love with Michael Brooks from Commission.
yes.
Michael Brooks sound really changed how I looked at how music should sound. And I was wondering, like, I was wondering, who do they study? Like, who do the guys that I'm studying, who do they study?
Who do
And that's
they?
how I found out about, Herbie Hancock and George Duke. And,
Nice.
I found out about all these other guys, that were geniuses at
Yes.
music, and it was Quincy Jones and the Quincy Jones library and that whole thing. I was little, I was young, my parents
Right.
were super churchy, so I couldn't listen to that at a young
Uh-huh.
age. And I got older and I heard George Clinton and Earth, Wind and Fire and all these things for the first time. And my
Blew
mind
your
just blew up. Yeah, I was like, oh my God,
yes.
I have to do all of this. I have to do everything this is
Absolutely.
doing. And I just ran, I just went for it. And so, yeah, it was a lot of those guys, Earth, Wind, um, a lot of fusion jazz groups, you know, and then as the industry progressed, you know, I watched other musicians, and you know, I watched Fred Hammond transition from playing the bass for the Winans to being the guy in commission
Fred
to
Hammond,
being
that
Fred
is,
Hammond. You know,
right?
I watched that whole experience. You know, I watched and heard Andre Crouch, and one of my mentors, Crystal Murden, who's one of the background singers and vocal arrangers and producers for Andre Crouch,
Mm,
and she's from Tacoma, and so
know that.
yeah,
Wow.
she's from Tacoma, and so I think I went and saw her a couple of years ago. She's still there, and I listened to all her music. She's like a genius. Like these are people that you've never heard all of their music. Like
Mm.
they're like if you sat and heard them, and I listened to Crystal's music, and I'm like, that's where the Andre Crouch, that's where that comes from. It came from you, you
Oh
know.
my.
So it was all these people who under the cover, behind the scenes, and they were working, and they, you know, depositing this sound into the industry that we didn't know about because their names weren't put on the front. And I found all of those people. Phil Curry was another one who is a genius from Tacoma
Yes.
and Seattle area. He mentored me in music production, like
Wow.
hand to hand, and it's because of him that I learned and studied music production and became what I became because I was listening to him, watch him do it. You know,
Wow.
so a good number of people that I looked up to came right from the house.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yes,
hmm
indeed. And
And
I
then,
love that you are able to tell, the story of how you became who you became, and who you studied and things like that. I saw
hmm
something on your page recently where it said something, and I can't quote it verbatim, but it was saying something to the effect of people often study and get things from you, but will never give you credit or
oh
will never
yeah,
let you know.
yeah,
And so I love that you are giving the flowers to those who came before you, and influenced you or taught you some things, to help you become the Donyea that you are today.
oh
So
yeah. Mass
that's
shout out to Navell too, because
absolutely.
I got my start in the studio with him as a
Yes.
producer from the ground foundational floor of my career as a producer
Hmm.
began with Navell Davis.
Yes. Shout
And
out to Navell
It
for
began.
sure.
It began with Navell Davis. Navell has music no one's ever heard that I did. No, he has all the stuff that I don't want nobody to hear. He got all that.
Yes, indeed.
He got all that. He called it the graveyard. If you There's a little spot in the studio you go to, he pull that curtain back, all these CDs and stuff. There's
Yes.
more records that we've done. I can't even remember the music, the amount of music we did because it was from the
Wow.
beginning. In '97, and he heard me play. He was like, man, and I said, man, I would love to come work in the studio because it got around that he had one.
Yeah.
And every Tuesday, I know Pop remembers this, every Tuesday he would come pick me up. I was 21. He would come pick
Mhm.
me up, take me to the studio. We'd be at the studio from like 4 p.m., 3 or 4 p.m. to like 10. And then
Yeah.
he'd bring me back. Next week we do the same thing, and we would just do records, and
Oh
it
my
grew
goodness.
from there. Like the rest is history from there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. We started out this show talking about Navell and Kim, and they are definitely genuine people. You don't
Mhm.
you don't meet a lot of real people nowadays, but of
No.
course with them we go way back, but they are family. Once they love you, they love you, and
Yes.
so many people, if they are honest, got their start right in that studio,
If they're honest.
if
If
they're
they're
honest.
honest.
Yes,
Yeah. We
indeed.
could we could name some stars that started there.
Oh, come on.
We could name some
Exactly.
stars. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And like I said, for the very first time that I went into the studio, it was with Navell. Someone introduced me to him. And yeah, I was around 21 at that time as well, and they did the introduction, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
I went in, I said, yeah, I wrote a couple of songs, and it goes like this. And he like, okay, go into the booth and sing them.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah.
went in and I sang it the way that God gave it to me. And before you knew it, Once I got back to the studio the following week, he had put music to all my songs, and it was about 6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
You all were killing it.
Mm-hmm.
You was on there.
That sounds like him. That sounds like him.
Knocking them out.
Like, come on, I got these couple of tracks.
Uh-huh.
And I would show up and he would just play it and I'll be listening to it and I would track it. A lot of this stuff I didn't even know what it was. I was just just blindly listening to. Oh, okay, and I would just track it and I would go home. I had no idea who it was for at the time. I was just tracking records for pop. And so when you would play it back, or when you played it back, I was like, "Oh, we did do this together." So and he did me like that my whole career.
Wow.
My whole career.
I had no idea who I'm playing for, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. He said, "Yep, y'all too kind, too kind." I'm gonna go back in just for a few moments over to the comments here. And let's see, Evangelist Randolph. This is my mom, actually, Herdy. She said, "What a gift God's given to Donyea. A true example of your gifts making room for you."
Blessings. Blessings, Evangelist. Thank you so much.
Yes,
I appreciate
indeed.
that.
Estella said, "That's where I got my start for real." She's talking about Navelle. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Navelle is ground zero for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And some of them, you know, God bless them. They won't ever say it, you know, but I'll say it because I got the tapes.
I got the proof. What they say today, I got the receipts.
I got the receipts. Yeah, I know where you started. You know.
Yes, indeed.
So he's ground zero for a lot of that.
Yes, absolutely. Now you are an artist that sometimes can ruffle a few feathers, you know, because you say what's on your mind and you mean what you say, you know. So I want to talk about music as ministry, you know, with you being a musician and growing up in church and all of those things. Playing music in the church is a way that musicians give back. They give their gift back to God, but it's also a way that they supplement their income. And for some, it is their full income. But there's a debate. You know, sometimes should musicians be paid? Should they not be paid? And now today, I even ask, should singers be paid? Should they not be paid? Because now, instead of having choirs and anybody can just sing, you have only the most skillful people who can sing on your praise team. If you can't sing, you can't even touch the mic, you know? So how do you feel about an artist, you know, whether it be a singer or a musician being paid, or do you feel that it's separate when it comes to singers and musicians?
No, because the voice is just as much an instrument as a piano or a guitar or a saxophone, right?
Right.
Your voice is just as much an instrument, you know. It's such a nuanced question, right? Because, I mean, the long hard truth is we can't pay everybody, right? You know, we can't pay everybody, and the ones who, you know, should get paid are the ones who have dedicated their lives to their skill of what they do, you know. And the truth is really what you can't pay for the skill and the talent level. What you're really paying for is the time that they spend, you know, enhancing the ministry in music. You're paying for their time, right? So, and I think a lot of the issue is it can get like really political, and some of us are too embarrassed to just say, I can't afford to pay, you know, and because I cannot afford to pay, some people, there's an innate sense of ego there where I'm too embarrassed to say I can't afford it. So I'll treat everyone like they shouldn't be paid, when really it's because I can't afford it. Right. You know, just say you can't afford it, you know.
And when you tell the truth, there are those who will say, okay, well, let me come and just be a blessing.
God can touch the hearts. He can touch the hearts of men and women to help me. I played for church. I remember an incident where it was a pastor who had made a remark. I had been playing for his church for about 10, 11 years. And he had made a remark indicating that I didn't know what it was like to serve, it was,
Wow.
I didn't get angry because I knew he didn't know my history.
Mm-hmm.
He just knew what was happening in that moment, but he didn't know my history. He didn't know that my grandmother was a pastor. My dad was a pastor. My mom was a pastor. My uncles were pastors, and I played for all of them for nothing.
Right.
I've played for churches for nothing for a long time.
Uh-huh.
I was playing for church before it was cool to get paid to play for a church.
Yeah.
You belt them in. That's what you did. It wasn't culture to get paid to play for worship service at the time.
Right.
And so the only people who were getting paid were the people of these was huge astronomical mega churches were getting paid because it was a full-time job at the time. But when you just running a storefront, nobody got paid. We was just there because we liked to play. It had nothing to do with getting paid. But now because I require fair payment, or I require just payment, now it's like, oh, you don't know what it's like to serve. Well, again, there's that innate sense of pride because it's like, no, just say I don't want to pay you. Just say that, or say I'd have less of a problem if they would have been like, I don't respect your gift enough. I don't respect you enough to pay you. But they won't say that because that is so direct, and it automatically allows us as musicians and creatives to know where we are with each other. Okay, cool. So we can't do business together. Cool. We can't work together. So I'm going to go where I can get work, where I can have a successful working relationship. And so they don't want to do that because then they lose out. It's a pride game at the end of the day, but if you're going to pay, if you can afford to pay, and if you can't, be open and honest with your people about what you can and can't do.
Because there are those of us, because I know that I have done it as well, who will continue to sing because I love to sing and I will be a blessing to the ministry. But if you're able to do it and you keeping everything to yourself, that ain't right either. Now that's enough. Look, I just touch base on that
because it goes deep. It can go. We can go down that rabbit hole all night long.
Go deeper and deeper. So we gonna move forward. Nabel said, "Yeah, breaking guitar strings." Look,
yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So listen, you moved from the Pacific Northwest, as you said, you kind of traveled around, and you're in what I would call the South. I don't know if Floridians call it the South. It's almost like
it's the South.
Their own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it seems like that, but if you come down here and live, if you come down here and live for a while, it's the South. It's the deep South, just like it's the deep South.
Yeah, it's like they have their own vibe. You tell me some of the similarities and differences in the sounds that you've heard in that place. So you're a musician. What do you hear that's similar, for the Northwest and the South? And then what's different? What you've learned since you've been there?
The main difference in the similarities is that now, see, when I was coming up in the 80s, right? There was no social media, right?
Right.
So you could go to an LA, Seattle, and each area would have their own sound, their own style, right? Even in Tacoma had a sound, and then Seattle had its sound. Like it's
absolutely,
if you hang around the OGs and listen, it's still like that, but the rise of social media has enabled the blend of all of that together, because now we can see what's going on in New York and adapt that to our sound. We can see what's going on. And so here in Florida, everybody studies everybody. And so you'll hear, they're pulling from such and such and making their sound like this, you pulling from, up in New York, and they, depending on the song, it's like, they're studying that and then adapting that to The scene, yeah. So that's the similarity where everyone has studied everyone and is adapting and learning and grabbing and infusing into what they're doing. The differences I hear is it's a different culture down here. You know, I will be humble enough to say, as versatile as I tried to be coming up in my career, after moving here, I learned that there was so much further to go, you know, in terms of versatility and sound. Like,
Yes.
I heard real Jamaican music,
Nice.
not the little boppity bop reggae we think we doing in gospel. We think, see, and when I learned is, I'm like, oh, we're playing what TV has told us reggae sounds like, right?
Yeah.
We're playing what, and I'll share this example. I don't know if he's gonna see this, but my bass player at the church, he's Jamaican.
Okay.
And we were doing this island song, right? We was, you know, and I hadn't been there long, you know, and
Right.
we was doing this Jamaican song. So I go to my keyboard and start pulling out all these little steel pan sounds, and he stopped the song. He said, hold. I said, what? He said, we hate that.
Oh.
I said, are you kidding me? I said, man, every time I go, he said, no, we do that for y'all. That's a tourist thing. When y'all get off the ship and see the little thing in the island and the steel pan. He was like, we don't sound like that. I said, well, what do y'all sound like? He said, we funky just like y'all. We all the synthesizers and all that. And I was like, oh. And I went down the rabbit hole of listening to Jamaican music, and I was like, okay, you know, and I learned then, I'm like, oh, we as Americans, you know, we Americanize everything.
We do.
And we Americanize it in a way that makes money for some corporation. We just don't realize that's what's happening, right? Everything is a commercial in the US.
Yeah.
And so now I can look deeper and I go, okay, so what is Jamaican music for real? What is Cuban music for real? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, like, you know what I mean? And I'm listening to all these different sounds and cultures here, and I'm like, wow, we had it wrong. You know what I mean? Because there's so much more richness and talent and just difference. And now I love contrast. I love hearing something I hadn't heard before, you know, and I'm like, oh, you guys play that like that? You know, a real percussionist or a real, you know, and these guys just go in their own timing and their own sound. And I'm just sitting there like just soaking it up, because I'm like, man, it's so good to hear someone else's authentic perspective and authentic sound. You know, they're not trying to be what they saw on TV the other day. This is who we are. This is what we sound like. So I love that. So that's the major difference. Is there's a, you know, you have Jamaicans, Haitians, you know, Cubans, you know, all kinds of ethnicities here from other countries that live here, and they brought that with them. So you get to hear all of that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Authenticity, you know, the realness of something. Like you said, you know, steel drums, that's the first thing people usually think of when you say Jamaica, you know. So for him to say, hold it, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop. That is not it. So I love that you're learning, you know, with all that you know and all of the knowledge that you left Washington with. You know, that's the thing about loving what you do and having a passion for what you do, because you're open to growth, you know, and you're open to developing. And that's what we as artists and people, whatever your field is, has to be open to, you know, that there's always a higher plane, you know. And so I was listening to a seminar the other day, and there was a young lady, and she was talking about becoming a coach, you know, for others. And, you know, a lot of times people are like, well, I can't coach anybody. And she said, you can, right where you are. Once you have enough knowledge, you can coach someone else, because someone is not where you are. Even though you want to go further, there's someone who needs to know the skills that you have at hand, you know, at that point in time. So I love that. Love that you're growing, you know, and flourishing there in Florida. So I have Talented Thursdays, and you have your Tuesday groove days, right?
Yeah.
Your Tuesday groove days, and that's
Ye-
a special day for sure. So I know it's not Tuesday, it's Thursday night, but I would love for you to play something special for us. Can you play something for us right
Sure,
now?
sure, sure.
Awesome.
Um,
You set it up however you want to. This
let's
this
see.
your part right here.
I'll see what I can do here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Talented Thursdays. This is Mr. Donyea Goodman.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I got 3 minutes or something.
Let's
Um, so this is a song that's you can get it on Spotify and Apple Music. It's called "Make the World Go Round."
mm,
Uh, I made it. Um, it's one of those facetious statements about just people. You know how you get, you have an altercation with somebody, or you have a situation where somebody's just not understanding your point of view, or they don't like your point of view because it exposes some kind of deficiency within them,
yes,
and they decide, instead of trying to better the situation and come to grips with where it is, they want to live in that denial. And a lot of us do it in our own way, in some area, shape, form, or fashion. And back in the day, we used to say, people make the world go round. And
uh-huh.
that's what that meant. It's like, people gonna be people. Like, you can't stop, from doing it. So that's what this song is. Let me just go for it.
All right.
Everybody make the world go round and round and round and people make the world go round and round and round. Everybody make the world go round and round and round and people make the world go round, round and round. Everybody make the world go round, round, round and people make the world go round, round and round.
I hit dog a holler every time.
Yes. Yes, that is smooth and sweet. Smooth and
Thank you.
sweet.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So yeah, if you watch Groove Tuesdays, it's that all day long.
Come on, that's right. Let the people know where they can follow you. And also, as he said, you can pick that selection up on Spotify. I'm sure on other streaming platforms as well, correct?
hmm hmm
All right.
Yeah, Make the World Go Round is on all digital streaming platforms. I just released the Tuesday is Groove Day Volume One
Ooh,
album on my website, DonyeMusic.net. You go to DonyeMusic.net, go to the store. All the songs for Tuesday's Groove Day, Volume One is on there. We got about 5 or 6 volumes that's coming out.
come
So it's a
on.
lot of music, but yeah. So volume 1 is out on my site. We decided not to. Now I'm gonna say this publicly. I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble, but we decided not to do the digital streaming for this album and future albums right now, because it's recently come to our attention with all that's going on with Spotify and the big execs taking money from independent artists and paying themselves from art that they had nothing to do with creating.
Come
And
on.
so I have a huge conviction with that. And I guess, my thing is, I'm like, if I got to be the guy that stands alone and chooses to do things differently, then I'll be that. But I cannot find myself investing in a situation where someone feels entitled to someone else's art that they didn't help create in any way.
Come
And
on.
that's robbery. You know what I'm saying? That's some Christopher Columbus type stuff. You know what I mean? And I
I hear
can't I
you.
can't get down with that. So I said, we said no digital streaming for the album. We put Make the World Go Round out as a promo so people could just listen to it and see what's coming. But the album was on my site, so you can go directly to my site, get it directly from me.
Yes.
And I think shout out to all of those who have already supported. A lot of people have chimed in and bought. You can buy song by song. You don't have to buy the whole album. You can get whatever song you like.
Right.
But there will be more music coming out. My Facebook is Donyea Music. My Instagram is Donyea Music. My TikTok is Donyea Music. My fan base, I don't know if you guys are familiar with fan base. It's a new social media platform that is closely resembles TikTok, but is black owned. Is
Yes.
black owned and black ran. And so I'm on Facebook as well, fanbook as a fan base, excuse me, as well as
Isaac
Donyea
Hayes
Music.
there. Yeah.
Yes. And so you just type in Donyea Music in the Google search bar, you'll find me.
It's gonna go ping, ping, ping,
Yeah,
ping, ping. It's
you'll,
gonna be
you'll
like what's
you'll
that? The
find me somewhere. Yes, a little handheld. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Popping up. You got some comments that were rolling in. I just want to go back briefly. Estella John said, one of my favorites. This is sweet. Sweet.
Thank
And
you.
sweet. Yes. Neville said, that's the way we do it. And
Yes.
it's lit. Look, he said, and it's lit. That's right. That's right. Got the fire. Yes. Evangelist Hurdy Randolph, go round like a spinning top. Beautiful song.
That's good. I like that. I
Yes,
like that.
indeed. And Nabel said that's why you own your own. That's
That's
right.
true.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah, I think that's
Ownership.
wise. Mhm.
Ownership is the key.
Yes, it is. Definitely wisdom in doing that because as artists, that you don't even really get a penny on the dollar most times.
100%.
Yeah, they're streaming your music and streaming and streaming. You have 1 million streams and you can finally start making a little bit of money. Like I said, they're filling their platforms up with your art. This is stuff that God has given you and birthed through you. So I think it's so wise that you have taken it where your followers and your fans and your supporters can go and pick it up and truly support you versus supporting the other men.
Yeah.
As you said,
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus. I'll leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We all know that story.
Yes,
You
indeed.
know,
Yes,
we all know that
indeed.
story.
I'm telling you. So, Donyea, I cannot believe how fast time is flowing. Okay, it's going really fast. So,
Oh, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
like,
I'm
oh
seeing
my
it.
goodness, I want to
Mhm.
speed things up a bit. With your musical journey, you have worked with quite a few artists, including Fred Hammond, Teddy Riley. You did a tour with, or
Mhm.
you toured with him for a while.
Mhm.
And I want to know what that was like, to go from being this young man in Tacoma to now being on tour, to now owning your own, because this gentleman owns his own business. And I want to get into that some as well, about the things that you offer through your business. But tell me what it was like to go out on tour doing what you love.
It was amazing in every sense of the word, right?
Mhm.
It was positively amazing. It was also negatively amazing. Like, you saw some amazing stuff that's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, it was
Wait a minute.
it really pulls on you. Like, touring, it takes a special kind of person,
Mhm.
right? It takes a special kind of person. You got to love doing shows.
Right.
You got to love doing shows. You have to love doing shows. And for me, I originally was invited on the tour as a producer. I wasn't invited on the tour as part of the show. So
Okay.
my initial job on that tour was to stay on the bus and just make tracks.
Okay.
That was my job
Wow.
on that tour, and it transitioned from making tracks to running the playback of the show on the computer. And then it transitioned from there, because I initially, before I went on tour, I programmed the show.
Oh,
And
wow.
so they were running that without me, and then it transitioned to me running it, which mid-tour then transitioned to me playing and running it.
Oh, wow.
So it was hard. And then, Ted's a good friend of mine, and when it's showtime, him as an artist, he's not your friend.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? When it's Teddy jam and when it's Teddy being Teddy on stage, he's not your friend.
Right.
We'll get back to the friends after the show is over.
Mhm.
But Teddy, like, his mind switches, he talks to you different. He's just a different guy, and took a minute for me to understand what that was. Right.
Mhm.
Because in the church world, you're supposed to be the same all the time.
Right.
It's not supposed to change you like that.
Yeah.
But in the commercial sector, folks do what they have to do to get in the mind of the performance and all this other kind of stuff. It was choreography, and Ted was dancing and doing all of this stuff and remembering parts and singing lines and then playing his keyboard. And it was so much he was doing. And so his mind was streamlined, and so being able to look at that and then separate it, and what people don't realize when you're on tour, it's a job. You know what I mean? Like, it is and in my case, it was kind of a thankless job, because we would do a show, and our show would start at like the whole show would start at like 7. But we wouldn't hit the stage till 10 o'clock.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? Because with Monica, Jagged Edge, and 112 and Genuine, they had to go before us. So they would go before us, and then we was the headliner, so we was the last one. We didn't get done until 11:30, 12 o'clock, and we had to pack up, and then we had to be back on the bus by 3 in the morning. So I found myself just packing up and just getting on the bus and never getting off. Because I was like, they'll leave me. I'll be in bed asleep.
Yeah.
So, and I would wake up. I remember waking up some cities. I didn't even know what city we were in. I would just wake up and we were somewhere else, and the bus would be empty. They just left me and I would have to find my way to sound check. It was crazy, so it's a different beast. And I knew then, and then at the time, my wife and my youngest son was 2.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And not being home to spend it. So I missed his second birthday. You know, it was like I was missing so much home life. I knew then, I was like, this is not for me.
You say this.
Not in this way.
Right.
You
right.
know, not in this way. It's not for me, not in this way. So I knew when that tour was over, I said, that's it. I'm going home. And I went home, and I never left home since. I ain't left. I never left. You know, but for the young single guys, it was heaven to them, because you know, they just out playing and gigging and doing the thing. They, you know, they didn't have families, you know, but I had a family, and I was a family man. You know what I mean?
The difference. I was
a family.
You have a family, but you wanted to be with your family.
Oh, I wanted to be at home. You know, I wanted. So now, to get me out the house, it got to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And by sense, I mean dollars.
Hello, look, dollars. So you started your own company, you know, and I was looking at your site, and these are the things that he offers. If you all are interested, which you should be, in working with Donyea Goodman. Okay, so you have let's see, music composition, which includes film and television, video games, theater productions, show programming, which includes live shows, tours, theater productions. You have music production, custom production in jazz, hip hop, R&B, gospel, pop, Latin, and more. Mixing and mastering engineer to give your music the sonic boost it needs with a mix or master. You also have live studio or remote session musicians for piano, organ, synths or synthesizers, programmed string arrangements, programmed horn arrangements, live or programmed drums. You got it going on over there. And you're teaching courses. And you're teaching courses. So, you know, I love the way that you were able to pivot from the tour to owning your own. Again, like Navell said, owning your own. Time is flying. I see Navell's comment. He said, do a part 2. I know there's so much. I haven't even touched on half of the stuff that this man has done, but it's been such a blessing. So as an artist, say for instance, I come into your building, your establishment, and I say, I am an artist who is looking for you know, someone to do my music production. I may have my song lyrics, or I may have the medley to my song, and I need you to put the music with it. What is my experience with Donyea Goodman and your team? Because I'm guessing that you may have a team. Is that experience like?
So the whole goal as a producer dealing with artists is to find where they are, right? What do you really sound like?
Yeah.
You know, we find your voice. Where's your voice? You know, what is your range? You know, what is your goal as an artist? Like, who do you want to be? You know, what is your sound? What is your flavor? All of that. We have to find that out so that we can create for it. You know what I mean? And the difference there's a huge difference. Somebody coming in knowing exactly where they want to go and what they want a song to do, and then someone who just comes in and goes, "Make me sound good." I don't know. You know,
I want to sing.
That's difficult because those tend to be the most picky artists that we dealt with. Is the ones that don't know what they want. Those are the most picky ones. You know, because no, I don't really like no, and it's because they really don't know what they want. You know, and
they haven't found themselves.
They haven't found themselves, and so sometimes it ends up with those type of situations where nothing happens. You know, there's been a time or two where we've returned their money. You know, or kept a deposit and said, "Hey, look, this is not going to work out. We thank you for the deposit. This is, you know." We did the work. We'll move along, because we don't like to waste anybody's time and vice versa, you know. And
that's
some
good.
people
integral.
And some people just want to go back and forth, and we can't do that. We can't afford to do that because time needs to be spent on some other clientele who have already paid, who know what they want and all of that. And so we don't put our energy into that. But if you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, or you need direction to find it, and you're willing to trust us and our expertise in helping you find what that sound is for you, then we will definitely do that. We will definitely do that. And we'll sit down, we'll talk, we'll vibe, we'll play some music, hear your voice and come up with some ideas. Sometimes chemistry hits and we start creating right away, So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And integrity, as you all can hear, there are people who will take your money and you still sound a mess when you walk out of their studio.
100%.
So with that being said, you need someone like Donyea who is going to tell you, hey, this isn't working for you or me. So let me just bless you to go on. And as my former pastor would say, find your tribe.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe,
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a quick game, Donyea. Time is running down. We're going out of Black History Month. We have one more day, but Black History is 365. We know
it is. It really is
365, but they only gave us one official month to celebrate.
Listen,
stop celebrating, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I want to do a word association game. I think this will be fun. I have 4 words. I'm going to drop these words to you. If you would only play a little bit of what that word means to you. So this is hot off the press, y'all. He don't know what the words are going to be. I promise you. We just want to see what this man, Donyea, the maestro, is going to do with these words.
We'll see what happens.
Yes, indeed. Neville said, let's see. Yep, you put your energy in and find out they're not serious. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. A lot of times.
Pop knows about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So here we are. Let's see. Our first word, is going to be, and like I told y'all, he don't know what the words are, but the first word is going to be freedom. Freedom.
Okay. That work?
Ooh, did it? I'm over here with tears in my eyes. Oh, like, did you? Look, I didn't want you to mess me up, but that's what you did. That was so. Okay, I gotta remember that we on live because I want to laugh so hard, but I'm a. I am so messed up right now. I wasn't ready. When you have a composer, a producer, a songwriter, such a valuable person in his art, I'm just messed up. Okay, that's what you get. I gave him one word, y'all. He played too much. He played too much. Okay. Your next word is gonna be, look, Neville laughing. He said, mess her up.
You know, Pop gonna egg me on.
I'm like, he did. I'm over here biting my lip trying to hold it together.
Pop gonna egg me on.
Yes, he is comedy. Oh my goodness. Okay, the next word is creative. or creativity, whichever way you want, creative or creativity.
Okay. Okay, I got you. So let's see. Creative or creativity. Okay.
You all are listening to Donyea Goodman here on First.
Next word.
So pretty, so pretty. Estella said, beautiful, loving that sound. She said, I feel this like heaven, like heaven. Yes, indeed. Your
Thank
next
you,
one,
Auntie.
this one, I don't know where you're going to go with it, but I know you're going to love it. This word is worship. Worship.
So I'll stay here. I'll stay here.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, there it is.
Hallelujah. Worship the Lord in this place.
Oh yeah, bring him on in.
Estella said, oh my, so heavenly. Bless his holy name. Yes, indeed. Maybell said, give her that gut bucket. He wants you to take me to church. Oh, oh. I'm like, huh? We ready. We ready. The last word is Black History. We got to do something for Black History Month.
I got you.
Let's go. Let's go.
So let's do.
Y'all, this has been such a blessing tonight with Donyea Goodman in the studio. Don't tell me that y'all ain't being blessed by Talented Thursdays, because I know I am. I know I am. Y'all are enjoying. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
There you go. That's my song right there.
Woo, come on. Lift every voice and sing. Look, and the thing about that song, every verse go deeper and deeper.
It
It goes
does.
deeper
100%.
and deeper. I'm like,
Yeah.
Lord, Donyea, you bad. I'm talking bad like Michael Jackson. I don't know if they believe me, but they know. They know now, okay? For those who
Thank you so much.
they know. Estella said, play, nephew. Woo wee.
Thank you, Auntie. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Kim is
Thank you,
throwing
Mom.
up. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. I have my friend Donyea who's watching. More faithful steps. She said, hello, friend. Beautiful.
Hey,
Beautiful.
hey.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
so much.
And then my mom, she said, come on, let's worship him. Worship Christ our Lord. Raise
Amen.
holy hands. Amen. Yes. And Nabel said, yeah, he is. That's to you being bad. I know that's being bad. Okay.
I appreciate them. They all of y'all support. It really means a lot. I don't take it lightly at all. I don't.
Yeah,
I appreciate everyone who shows love and support and because it's rare out here, believe it or not.
it
You
really
know,
is.
it's
It
rare.
really is. And I was having a conversation with someone the other day as we draw to a close that, people they desire numbers. It's a numbers
Yeah.
game
Hmm.
now in social media world, and it's important to have numbers. But I love my faithful few.
Yeah.
They're faithful. And
Yeah.
I know that their support is real and genuine because there are people who jump on the bandwagon at the end when you made
Hmm.
it and say, oh, that's my boy. Oh, that's my
Hmm.
girl. But where were
Hmm.
you when I was digging? You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When I
Oh
was
yeah.
get there. So
Yeah.
those who really are there for you and really love and support you. So I think it's a beautiful thing. Donyea, you're such a beautiful spirit. You're humble, you're talented, you're creative, you're out the box, and you are truly a blessing to those who encounter you. So
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
for blessing the platform tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you for thinking me. And shout out to Pop Navel for throwing my name in the hat.
That's
Shout
right.
out to Pop for throwing my name in the hat. He
He
came
just
and I was at home back in January and he let me know. Like I told her to put you on. I said, okay.
uh-huh.
You know. So
Yes, indeed.
I appreciate him. We did a podcast together out there. Me, him, and Quentin. Shout out to Quentin Davis. Shout out to Quentin Davis.
Yes,
Davis he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot business wise in the city of Tacoma.
he really
Um,
is.
it's he's probably one of the few black men out there that's killing the game downtown like that. Like that's a whole different beast, and I'm so proud of him. I remember when he first started, so to see what he's doing now and the business moves he's making and the people he's partnering up with and the unity he's creating, I love every minute of it.
Yes, indeed. Power moves for sure. Power
Yes,
moves. So shout out to Quentin for sure. I saw a video that Navell had posted recently with Quentin's new place. That new studio
yes,
going up. I
yes.
said, oh, I gotta get in there and get in the podcast.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
You know,
amazing. It's amazing. I was there in January. It is amazing. It was almost overwhelming. It was a lot. It
yeah.
was a lot.
Well, watching the video, I was like, man, it's huge. It's
Yeah,
huge, and
it's
it's
a lot.
nothing that they left out, and
Right.
that shows that not only do you want things to go well for you, but you want things to go well for your guests and your artists. He had the
Mhm.
artist lounge and all of those things. So I want to be on both sides. Put me in the booth and put me in
Right.
the. But anyway,
Yes, I
and
get it.
one day as well. I have to. So thank you so much again. For those of you who watched tonight, this is Mr. Donyea Goodman. Such a blessing to have him in the building. Make sure that you follow him for sure. Make sure that you support by going to his website. Say your website again so they can pick up your music.
DonyeMusic.net. DonyeMusic.net.
.net. Make sure you all go support. If you just buy a single, go buy a single, but buy something. Show him, that we're here and that we have his back.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We have more comments coming in just briefly. We need more like you in times like these. Bless you, Donyea and Nabel. God men, not just
Thank you so much.
God men. Yes, indeed. And Estella said, great show. Loved it. Thank you so much. Come on back up, Kimberly. That's right. Thank you, friend. Yes, indeed. I'm ready. I'm ready. When
Come
God
on back up.
when God allows, I will be there for sure. I love you,
100.
Kanye. Thank you. Please thank your wife and your family for
Shout
allowing
out to
the
shout
time.
out to Sherry Ann Goodman.
Yes, Miss
Sherry
Shirley.
Ann Goodman.
Yes,
She's in the other room, and I'm sure she'll see it when she see the link up there. She
yes.
supported me when I had nothing,
Hey,
and so
keeper.
yeah, when I had nothing, and so God has blessed us
Yes.
now, and I am so grateful to her and my kids,
Yes.
DJ Goodman, he's junior. He turned 18. That's really why I went back home. I went to go see him. He had
Wow.
turned 18, and he said he wanted to be a producer like his dad. So
There you go.
he's following my footsteps. And then I have a 9-year-old in there, and he's a genius. And so I'm just grateful to God for just my kids, my wife, my family, and for all the supporters. Like most of the people, just about all the people in the comments are my day one fam.
Yes, indeed.
So I appreciate you guys. You guys are always the same when I come home. You're always the same. You've never changed up on me. And so I thank every last one of you guys,
Yes, indeed.
including you, Kimberly.
Yes, and you as well. You as well. I thank God for the connection. Keep doing great things. Keep doing great things, and come back.
Amen.
Like Maybell
Amen.
said,
Oh,
ready. Come
I'm ready when you are.
to a show too. Okay.
I'm ready when you are. I got you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you all so much for watching Talented Thursdays. If you are interested in being a guest on Talented Thursdays, Talented Television with Kimberly Eichelle, please email me at talentedtelevision@gmail.com. Y'all email me. Email me. Let me take a look at your artistry and come on the show. All right. With that being said, no further ado. God bless y'all. Happy
bless.
Black History Month.
Yes.
And out of here. We are
All
out of here.
right.
Good night.
Good night. Love y'all.
Yes, indeed. I love y'all too. Bye bye.